He can all out jump out the gym like a madman, carve the defense up like he's a knife with bad intentions, and when needed, he can set up shop and snipe the opposing team like he's a top-ranked shooter. In the 2022-23 season, Anthony Edwards put up 24 points, 5 rebounds and 4 assists, while maintaining shooting splits of 46% from the field and 36% from three-point range. The stats are already eye-catching enough, as this is just Ant's third year in the league, but if we expand his stats out to per 100 possessions, you can see that Ant's stats get that much more interesting, further showcasing just how much potential he really has. There's honestly so much hype around Edwards simply because of the amount of passion he plays with on the floor, and if I'm being honest, you don't really see this from a lot of young players in the league nowadays. You can see the constant improvement in Ant's game year to year, and in my opinion, it's truly time to give him the keys to this Minnesota Timberwolves team and start to watch him closely, as I think he will be taking over the entire NBA very soon. I can't help but marvel at the precision Ant moves through the lane with, as on this sequence, he turns defense into offense by stripping Markkanen on the drive, and once receiving the ball on the perimeter going the other way, he jabs to the right side since Lauri's momentum is carrying him that way, and now he has to step on the defense when attacking the middle of the floor, and once hitting the paint, he avoids the help of Olynyk with this smooth carryover Euro, and instead of finishing on the right side where Markkanen could have gotten a hand on it, Ant used the rim as protection and finishes on the left side. I know a lot of people were used to Ant being this sole high flyer who would just impress us with his high level of athleticism, but this past season, Ant displayed more of a methodical approach to his game and was breaking down defenders in the most elegant way possible. Even when he would get into his shooting, Edwards never seemed rushed or out of place, as he would slow it down and get to the exact spots he wanted, so when you hear him shouting out while the ball is still in the air on this turnaround, this is when you know he is really locked in, feeling himself. I mean, let's keep it real. When you get into that flow state, it isn't much the defense can really do to stop you, and when watching Edwards operate on the floor, you can see the comfortability, confidence, and poised manner with every move he made. Being only 22 years old in the NBA, there's so much potential and room for him to grow, so when you see flashes of elite talent like this, it's only right you give credit where credit is due. There's a multitude of ways Edwards can rein in the buckets on the court, but when you put his driving abilities under a microscope, you can really see all the small details that lead to him being a more than exceptional driver, and if we're throwing out huge predictions, he can end up going down as one of the best slashers ever if he stays on this path. In the comments below, I want you to tell me how you feel about Ant's slashing nature, and hopefully by the end of this video, you pick up a new thing about his attacking that you actually like. His ability to accelerate pass defenders with the explosive burst of speed, paired with his court navigation through tight defensive schemes, is truly a testament to his superb IQ on the court. Pretty much like a skilled driver weaving through traffic, Edwards can maneuver through the defense with ease, just finding his way to the basket and creating scoring opportunities for himself. When you start at the basic level, it all starts with his quick first step that literally leaves defenders in the dust once he explodes out towards the rim. When working out that triple threat, it gives you 3 key options, such as shoot, dribble, or pass, so in these moments the defense is very vulnerable as they have to wait and see what the ball handler decides to do. If you're caught closing out on Edwards, it might just be the worst position to be in, as he can immediately stun off that back foot, and in the blink of an eye, he's already got the step on you, coasting to the basket to bank it in. Other times he'll serve the defense to up fake, which makes them bite because he is a near 37% shooter from deep, so once they lunge out, he already has them beat, and then he can go slam this home with bad intentions. Drives to the basket don't always have to be super flashy and filled with different combos, as you can be just as effective with a couple moves to the basket. Like when coming off this handoff, Ant has the momentum going towards the right side, so it has Royce O'Neal sliding that way, so once he shifts him over with the crossover, he explodes out blowing right past O'Neal and lays it off the glass gracefully. So as you can see, Ant can get the step on the defender in a split second with his explosiveness, but that's just his slashing in the simplest form, as it can honestly get way more complex. When he ties in that explosiveness with his change of direction, that's when you see defenders really have a lot of trouble guarding him, as he makes them just look like cones he's out there running drills on. These shifts are so quick that the defenders can't seem to turn their hips fast enough to stay in front of him, and to all of us viewers, it's more than eye-catching when you see Ant cross up a defender on his way to the rim. Just how he can work out the triple threat very well, it translates into the direction changes, as here you can see Ant quickly rip through after receiving it coming off the screen, so now the initial defender is behind him, and once the big steps up, he thinks Ant is going to the right, so boom! Ant crosses back hard to that left hand, gaining the step on the defense, and sneaks it in before the defender could even get to it. To be able to beat the defense in such a quick manner like this, you have to be able to read what they're giving to you, and just be 2 steps ahead of them at all times. When coming up the floor versus Denver, Ant notices Jokic abandoned Gobert to shade a double to slow him down. So right here, Ant could have floated this over the top to Gobert, and then Gobert could have dropped it off to Anderson for the easy lay. These are reads we hope to see Ant make going into next season, but instead of all that happening, Edwards crosses through the legs away from the double, and now with Bruce Brown as the only man to beat down low, he used that high carryover step through to avoid him and finishes the lay through the traffic. It's really all about your handle, timing, and the footwork when it comes to these smooth direction changes, and sometimes it might not look like a direction shift, but when you slow it down, you can see how he shifts his angle to slip right past defenders to get inside. When receiving the screen from Gobert, Sabonis' hedge is overly aggressive, so Ant quickly goes back right, throwing the ball out in front to split the screen, and unfazed by a Monk contest, Edwards lays it in with ease with that left hand. Having this ability is key for Edwards, as he always has many defenders running at him, or he will be getting baited into traps, so knowing how to reroute your path to the basket to still score is very important. Sometimes the change of direction doesn't even happen immediately off the dribble, as he can wait till the last minute to euro around the defense to put 2 on the board. Watch on this play as Edwards attacks Zubac aggressively coming off the screen. Out of nowhere, he hits him with this clean euro to get a foot in the paint, and now as Ant is surrounded by 3 Clipper defenders, he used the up and under English reverse to finish this beauty of a lay. His knack for changing directions on the court throws off defenders completely, but it also seamlessly transitions into his acrobatic layups. Just as he shifts his momentum and direction with the precision during his drives to the basket, Edwards showcases a remarkable flair for finishing at the rim in the most acrobatic fashion. Times where Ant rips the ball low to explode through a defender to then glide past 2 defenders to slip it in shows just how well versed he is around the rim, and other times when he's met at the rim by the defense by floating in the air to finish this reverse on the entire opposite side, it just shows the body control and ability to adapt in midair to still convert the basket. To be able to contort his body in midair, twist past defenders, and kiss the ball off the glass with finesse is nothing short of breathtaking. Honestly, it's like he's choreographing a high-flying routine right there on the hardwood for all of us to enjoy. These acrobatic layups are not only a testament to his athleticism, but also to his creativity and adaptability in tight situations. Much like the finishing god in Kyrie Irving, Edwards amazes us with his ability to finish plays at the rim with a high level of artistry that leaves fans and opponents in awe. Now, am I saying he finishes like Kyrie? No. I'm definitely not saying that at all. But what I am saying is that his acrobatic ways make a lot of us admire his game and be entertained at the highest level. Those acrobatic finishes at the rim are yet another level to his finishing that separates him from most, but what really sets him apart even more is not only his ability to twist and turn in midair, but it's his craftiness to get into the defender's body to create space, and also being elusive to find the slightest gaps to then lay it home. Looking like a skilled dancer who knows how to use their partner's movements to their advantage, Ant uses his own body to outmaneuver defenders to gain himself an easy look at the rim. You'll have plays where Ant slips right through the middle of the defenders when they send a quick double at him off the screen, and now they're left watching him as he throws down this poster en route to an and one. Just by not being afraid to initiate contact with opposing players, Ant effectively used his strength and body control to create separation to then maintain his balance while going up for the bucket. Here on the drive versus the Grizzlies, Ant switches directions once being cut off, and when getting downhill, Edwards gets the shoulder into the defender's body, which takes him out the play, and now he can sort of bounce away from the secondary defender to bank this in off the glass. You must have a certain amount of strength and great center of gravity to consistently hit defenders and still score the bucket, and with Ant, you see this on display time and time again. With his 6'5", 6'6" burly frame, he can all out move the defense out his way to score, and this just makes him that much harder to stop when he's attacking the basket. With all of these ways to convert the ball inside, it gives Ant many different options to choose from, as defenses will try to throw everything at him to stop him, but honestly, they're gonna have a very difficult job doing so. This high level of finishing just demoralizes defenses, and just when they think they might have him figured out, this is when Ant cooks them with the mid-range shooting. Converting on just 36% of his 231 mid-range shots, it might seem from the stats that Edwards isn't a good mid-range shooter, but honestly, the eye test says much more. Ant can create space like no other, and once he is in his rhythm, things can get real nasty. As I watched a lot of T-Wolves games this year, I think a lot of the time Edwards can opt into tough shots in the mid-range, which makes his percentage look worse. But when he creates space for himself and gets decent looks at the rim, this one we can see him get real sturdy. Just as he has a delicate touch around the rim, Edwards displays a smooth shooting stroke when he pulls from the mid-range, so when defenders sag off to protect against the drives, they find themselves in a tight spot as Edwards can confidently rise up and knock down the shot. Hopefully going into this next season, he can improve on his shot decision and make that percentage climb, but hey, only time will tell. For the lack of high conversion rate in that mid-range area, Ant is more than a precise sniper from deep, and when we look at his 3-point shooting splits, you can see that Ant is far more effective off the catch and shoot, so the Timberwolves should continue to put him in situations where he can receive the ball on the perimeter and immediately fire it up. This amount of versatility in his offensive game adds many layers of complexity to his playstyle. Just by fine-tuning his game every season, Ant's starting to look like a chess player who can attack from different angles, keeping opponents constantly strategizing on how to defend him effectively. Ant's ability to score both inside and from the outside makes him a well-rounded offensive threat, capable of impacting the game in various ways as he's destined to take over the league. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like before heading over to watch this LaMelo Ball analysis. I thank you all for your support, and I'll see you in the next video.